What's good, y'all? It's a banner release date, and we have the banners for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we'll be going over them and also talk a bit about the Praetus situation and where did he go. So because that's probably what is on the mind of a lot of you, where did Praetus go and when does he come back, right? It's very simple. Praetus is next weekend. So next weekend, Praetus is going to be alongside an still undisclosed banner. But you gotta keep in mind that banner could be a really big one. Now the reason why I say that banner could be a really big one is because if we check out event notices and the shard summon notice, you see that we have a spiritual altar as well as an arrival of heroes. We had a spiritual altar and arrival of heroes last weekend, or basically this weekend, and next weekend we just get arrival of heroes. So we have like the big summon events. And also we have the official release date of the game on the 13th, which is going to be Saturday the 13th. Now Praetus will be next week, he will be alongside Jira, and for those that haven't summoned your ancients yet, you won't even be able to waste them because there's no ancient banner. So just stay patient to the 13th and you'll get yourself your chance at Praetus. Alright, so now the 2x Divine and the 2x Blue banners. It is very simple. If you want to summon Divines, and if you are in particular looking for Volcra and Lasir, go ahead, summon on those banners. It is not going to be a bad idea. That's just the way it is. 2x Divine Raid Up is as good as it can be, kinda, right? And then we have the Crazy Invocation of Spirits 2x. I do not recommend summoning on this banner because of the lead up to having more summon events next weekend and also the official release date and the potential for some good banners. So at minimum we're going to get something equivalent to a Crazy Invocation of Spirits, and it's just the ability to hold out one more week with then a higher potential of actual returns in the sense of, I don't know, a 2x by 15, a super strong 15x, a 1+1, you get an unhoned hero banner. There's a couple chances we have for within a week. So now that we went over these two banners, let's just talk about the very last one. So, why don't we start with the epics? We have War of Wolf at the moment is greatly underappreciated, but it also makes sense because in general fighters do have a really hard time fitting in content. And Voroth himself, he does his damage, but he sadly doesn't damage to a level where he is equivalent to Deimos, because Deimos really hurts the guild boss, and Voroth is only kinda like meh. Though there will definitely be some potential if we in the future still continue to get these kinds of no gear, no artifacts, no nothing stages. Voroth might actually see some use. Oleg, honestly, Oleg is the very strongest tank in existence. It's the way it is when we talk in epics. And you do get him free from Void. He will get his skin with the event, so he's going to turn into Shiny Golden Boy. That skin should be very easy to obtain. Now, should you pull just for Oleg? The answer is no. Awakening wise, you really just want the A1, and then that's pretty much about it. You could get his A5 where he gives some physical reduction to allies adjacent, which is quite helpful, but the A1 is just his strongest survivability one. And then we have Nazim. If you do not own Nazim, Nazim is really nice for Guild Boss 2 to inflict stuns. He can complete all the 12 stacks, especially if you build him with speed and attack regen. Like Rage Regen, he can ult every single chainsaw, so you're going to be able to weaken 3 chainsaws back to back. His awakenings truly aren't anything special, so it's not that important that you get his awakenings. Okay, now for the two highlights. Volcra. Very early on at the beginning of the game, when it first released, Volcra was a rather underappreciated champion and she got a rating of like a B. Now Volcra turned into one of the most crucial and useful champions, and the key reasons for that are going to be she has AoE magic damage, she has vulnerability on the basic attack, and she has an incredible range of, if we take a look at her upgrades, of 3, but in ultimate that goes up to 4, and if you have a shield that you consume, so basically if you use the ultimate while she has a shield, the ultimate range goes up to 5. And the main content where this is useful is going to be Gear Dungeon 1. In Gear Dungeon 1, Volker is absolutely incredible at taking care of the top lane and one of the main choices So yeah, if you're still struggling with Gear Dungeon, with Gear Dungeon 1 and you want to clear the top lane, Volcra is your go-to unit. Furthermore, she has this nice revivability, this revive passive right here, and for those that already know it, obviously she's really relevant in GVG. Because even though Volcra only hits ground units with her basic attacks, in her ultimate she can actually hit air. Which makes her one of rather just a few units that are able to. So the most popular ones in GVG are going to be Volcra and Arrogance. So that's kind of like your GVG scenario. Overall, she's a very strong unit. She has a lot of usefulness, and she also gets a lot of BP if you do build her properly. And then we have Lycia. So Lycia is probably the weakest of the 3 anti-heal options when it just comes to a space kit, because he can't compare to an ancient lord like Demi, and Artemis is just too useful providing healing and damage. But what he does do is quite a long amount of anti-heal, so you use his ultimate and the anti-healing sticks actually for a total of 15 seconds. So especially once you do have your Lycia, getting this anti-heal talent to level 3 is the most crucial thing to do. Furthermore, he does a decent amount of damage, but if you want to use him in content where anti-heal is useful, so Gear Raid 1 and Gear Dungeon 1, then I do recommend, at least for Gear Raid 1, to run him in attack speed and rage regions, so you can ult every single time the boss heals. And in Gear Dungeon 2 you would run him in somewhat of a Soulbound Arcana set with full damage, so he can help out and support your main damage dealer, be it a Karmet, Viona or whatever else you have. So those are the 2. Honestly, for a Divine banner it's not that bad. You could go in, you could try for them, but you could also hold out for 1 more week. And that is my very quick recap of the summoning for this week, and we see each other in the next video. Bye bye.